Hey guys, welcome back here to the Fishing Teacher, and appreciate you guys swinging by the channel today and checking the video out. Guys, today I want to talk about, out of all of the fishing that I've done with other people, like co-anglers and on the water lessons and just buddies of mine, probably the biggest mistake that I see them make that keeps them from catching fish. It's pretty simple to correct, but I think a lot of people do this without even realizing they're doing it. So we're going to go over that in today's video here and get you guys some good tips and advice for that. Also, guys, started a couple quick things, our daily housekeeping tips. Wanted to remind you that Tackle Warehouse has still got their big Memorial Day sale going on. They got a bunch of good sales across the site. If you guys are looking to get stocked up, now's the time to do it while the sale goes on till the end of the month. I'll have my Tackle Warehouse link in the description of this video. If you guys would like to use that link and bookmark it for your tackle purchases, much appreciated. That helps the channel out. And also, guys, thank you very much for everybody that's been subscribing here to the Fishing Teacher, man. Free and easy to do so. It helps the channel out if you hit that subscribe button. It really helps the channel out also if you like the video and hit that hype button, the little black button that says hype there. That pushes the videos out. So thank you for everybody that's been doing that. We really appreciate that. Okay, guys, a lot of mistakes that anglers make, they're sort of subconscious mistakes. They probably don't even know they're doing it. But one of the things I've been able to do in fishing is I've fished for so long that I can pretty much look at somebody fishing from like across a cove or something, and I can tell you how skilled they are just by their posture and their movements and how they cast and their body language. It's something I've done for so long, I can just sort of look at it and tell how good they are, mechanically. And the mechanics a lot of times directly relate into how many fish you catch. Okay, so here is one of the biggest mistakes that I see people make specifically when you're fishing a slow bait, like a jig or a worm or a Cinco, a Ned rig, a shaky head, a wacky rig, a football head jig, any lure that's on the bottom. Here's one of the biggest mistakes that I see they do. It's how they work the bait is not right. A lot of them, it's like they're haphazardly, like they'll twitch it a little bit, or they'll pump it a little bit like that, and then they'll pull it, and then they'll sort of pump it a little bit. It's like the movement of the rod tip is all over the place in terms of working a bait or trying to manipulate a bait. So let me give you 3 ways to do it. The only 3 ways you need to do it. Okay, we're going to talk about a jig, and we're going to talk about a Texas rig, and then we're going to talk about dragging a bait like a football head jig. Jig is going to be something, football head, or excuse me, a pitching and flipping jig, or some type of a finesse jig. When you're working a jig, you don't want to just shake a jig in one spot. You want to hop it. So what you want to do is you throw it out there and hop it once like that. Pop it off the bottom where it's like a foot above the bottom like that. You don't want to shake it. You don't want to pull it. You just want to hop it like that. That generates a reaction strike. If you're fishing a Texas rig bait, like a Texas rig creature bait, if you're fishing a shaky head, this is a category that covers several different things. Any Texas rig worm, Texas rig creature bait, a shaky head, a Ned rig, anything like that, a drop shot, anything. When you're working a bait like that, you want to shake it in one spot without reeling the handle. So shake it like 10 times like that or so like that, and then just pull it, drag it like that, and then stop it and shake it like that without reeling the rod handle, the reel handle. Just shake it in one spot, and you're trying to get that bait just to twitch a little bit like that, and then drag it. And if you're fishing a wobble head jig or a football head jig, that's a different presentation. You just want to drag it like that, stop it, take up the slack a little bit on the line, drag it again like that along the bottom. You don't want to twitch it, you don't want to hop it, you just want to drag it. Now, it's very important on those 3 different lure categories that you work the bait like that. I see people that, like I said, the mistake that I'm talking about that they do it is they're all over the place where they work it. Some of them, they work it on a tight line. Some of them work it on a slack line. Some of them have got the rod over to the left. Some's got the rod to the left, to the right. Some of them have the rod tipped down to the water. Some of it has in the air. Most of the time, when you're working a jig or any type of a Texas rig, you want that rod tip at about 10 o'clock. That gives you the good control and manipulation on it. And if you're working a dragon bait, like a football head jig or wobble head, you want that rod at the 3 o'clock position where you drag it like that. But just that 10 o'clock position for the shake it in one spot or the hopping is the thing that's going to work the best. The whole thing about bass fishing, when you're talking about lures in general, is you have to generate the strike. And the strike generation comes from the action and the manipulation that you put on the lure. It doesn't matter if it's a crankbait or a spinnerbait or whatever, or a jig or something like that. You have got to generate the strike through your wrist movement like that. Now, there's some tricks and tips, and everybody's got their favorite way to do it. But ultimately, you know, there are some foundational elements that will really help you. Another thing like that is very few lures, you're not going to maximize the efficiency of any lure just by casting it out there and reeling it in. Most of the time, you got to pull it, you got to twitch it, you got to vibrate it. You got to make the thing feel alive a little bit, because you're trying to fool the bass. It's like, I don't care what lure you're using, you're trying to trick the bass into biting. And the way that you trick a bass into biting, as far as a control variable that you have control over, is the way that you impart action on that lure. So main thing, guys, is just don't haphazardly just work your bait. You know, keep that system in mind, guys. If you're fishing a jig, hop it, don't shake it or don't pull it. Just hop it, let it go to the bottom, hop it, let it go to the bottom. Sometimes I'll hop at 6 inches and sometimes I'll hop at 3 feet, just depending on what the fish want. Texas rigs and all the other slow baits like that, shake it in one spot without reeling it, shake it just on a slack line, vibrate it in one spot, then pull it. And then your football head jigs and your wobble heads, just drag them, take up the slack, drag them again. Definitely is going to get you a lot more bites. So anyway, hope that helps, guys. We'll talk later.